Treasure Boys is brought to you by our mom, who makes our dinner.
Hey guys, we've got some comics that we picked up from a local show, so let's see what we got. Hello everyone, my name is Mike. You're probably wondering where the Treasure Boys are. Well, they're all grown up. Two of them are out of the house and Abe works now. So they left me, their old man, to talk to you about comic books. And that's okay, because yesterday we went to a local show here in Tennessee, and lots of comics, lots of toys. I spent about $105 at the show, so let me show you what I got. So this first stack is a bunch of Justice League of America from the early to mid 80s. It wasn't a complete run, but it went from issue 222 to issue 251. And you can see there's some newsstands, all kinds of different copies. And there were some that were doubles, but I went ahead and got the doubles because, and you'll see here in a second why I did that. Like, there's a newsstand and then there's a direct edition. So pretty good little stack of comics. Those were 50 cents each, so I couldn't pass those up. That vendor also had some other books that were 50 cents each. I always like to pick these up, even though these were mass produced. These X-Men books, with some of them had first appearances of the Generation X. Those characters, I don't remember all of their names. I know there was Skin and Monica, I believe was her name, and some other characters. Jubilee was part of that crew. Here's an earlier X Factor. I just like the 80s stuff. Here's an earlier Wolverine. I like the earlier Wolverines. I really like that cover. And it's a newsstand. Again, these were all 50 cents. Jim Lee Superman. This is the first Jim Lee Superman from the run that he did with Brian Azzarello. Not a very popular, outside of the art, not a very popular run, but you know, 50 cents, you can't beat it. And then I got a set of Astonishing X-Men from the Age of Apocalypse. It was a full set, not bad for $2. Here's an early Conan, number 167. It's a newsstand. It's in really good shape. I just like the art, and there may be a Conan collector out there that needs that. New Warriors number 1 from the all-new Marvel Now. You never know if some of these characters show up on a team, and for 50 cents you can't beat it. And then Danger Girl, G.I. Joe, J. Scott Campbell cover. You can't pass those out. Oh, and I forgot about this one. Thundercats number 1, Wildstorm. Any of these Wildstorm runs, if it's a cartoon or video game, I like to pick those up. I think I've got another one in here somewhere that I picked up from a different vendor. They're pretty low print run and pretty collectible. Also from the same vendor, again, these are all 50 cents. Official adaptation of Spider-Man the movie. I love things like that. Power Pack, one of the first comics I ever bought. A friend of mine and I in the 80s, we started a comic book club, and we pulled together 30 cents each with a few pennies for tax, and we bought Power Pack number 8. So that Power Pack's always had a place in my heart, and so I'm trying to put together the run. I found this one 50 cents. Daredevil Shadowland. I'm trying to put that run together if I see them, and I've probably got doubles here, but for 50 cents you can't go wrong. I can always part out the extras. A cool Batman cover. I've been putting together a run of Batman for Abe for quite a long time. I may have this one, but I never look back if it's 50 cents. First appearance of Bluebird, I believe, in this comic. This was hot for about a half a minute, as those things usually do. And my wife's cat is meowing. Not my cat, my wife's cat. And 2 copies of that. First, number 1 issues of Image I try to pick up, because you never know if something gets optioned. 50 cents. You can turn it into 10 bucks pretty easy. Sleeper number 1, Ed Brubaker. This was actually from a different vendor. He kind of threw this in. I forgot this was in there, but I like these covers from these Spidey Life stories. And then almost a complete run of Fear Itself, issues 1 through 6. They didn't have 7. I looked and looked and looked, couldn't find 7, but can't beat it for 50 cents. So another vendor I went to, he had a bunch of dollar books and found some pretty good stuff in here. Got a few issues of Doctor Strange. I believe it's 382, 385, 386, and 387. This was a kind of a weird run for Doctor Strange. Yeah, Donny Cates was writing these. I know he's kind of fallen out of sorts lately, but some pretty good writing in these, and picked them up for $1 a piece. Again, here's another Wildstorm, Gears of War number 8, $1. A pretty cool cover, video game adaptation. So those are pretty cool. Found these also, Diablo 3. Video game adaptation. This was DC, but these are still pretty low print runs. These are collectible for people trying to put the runs together, and pretty neat covers. Jupiter's Legacy number 1. I know the show on Netflix kind of bombed, but it is a number 1 issue. First appearances all throughout. This was a pretty decent little run. Battle Chasers, not a run, but several copies, variant covers of issue number 4. Again, these were all $1 each. I've always liked Joe Mad's art, pretty neat stuff. And then in issue number 6, and then the find from this guy was in issue 7, the J. Scott Campbell variant. So not bad for $1. I think that's about a $25 to $30 book, fair market value. So not bad at all. So here's the last stack. These are from a couple of different vendors, but I put them all together. These are going to my personal collection. I've been trying to put together a run of Marvel Team Up, the original Marvel Team Up Volume 1. I like a series like that where there's a finite number. You can go from 1 to, I believe it's 150, and they're not too expensive. There are some key issues in there, but the early ones are starting to go up in price. People are starting to put those together, but I found a really good deal. He made me a great deal on all of these books, but we got issue number 6. They're all pretty high grade. I haven't rebagged and boarded them yet, and you still see the stickers on them. I didn't take the stickers off so I can remind myself how much they were and which vendor they came from. There's issue number 6. There's number 7. Then we got issue number 19. And then issue number 21. Then issue number 26. Again, he gave me a really good deal. I think he cut them down to about $3 a piece on all of these. Then we got issue number 27, Great Hulk and Spidey cover. Really like that one. And then another vendor, he had a bunch of Amazing Spider-Man. I've been collecting Amazing Spider-Man since I started collecting in, I believe it was 1983. But he had an issue 147. And again, he gave me a great deal on these. Took quite a bit off. I bought stuff from him before. This one, I know it looks like there's damage. Well, there actually is on this one. And there's some water damage. I'm going to try to clean and press it just to see what I can get how much I can get out. It's mainly right here, right under the DER. But the rest of it is just where somebody's read it, but it's very pressable. Just curious how much I can get out of it. But again, he gave me a great deal on these. These are issues I didn't have. Then issue 236, fun cover with Death Nail, some crazy spider gonna get after Spider-Man, and also the newsstand. So got both of those. I try to get a direct and a newsstand of each copy. Then 237, Stiltman, obviously coming through the cover. And that's a newsstand. And then one I always thought I had it when I was a little boy, and I must have lost it or something. I actually got it in a value pack at I believe it was a Toys R Us in Chattanooga, Tennessee years ago. But issue number 255, and this was really high grade. I was really impressed with the grade of this book, especially an all black cover. I just remember this, I just thought this was a great cover when I was a little boy. So I'm happy to have that one back in the collection. And then one of the highlights of the ones I got, this was $7 from the same vendor, and it is really high grade. So Eric Larson, Slobbery Venom, kind of redoing the more civilized Venom. I say that tongue-in-cheek, of course, that Todd McFarlane drew to this kind of maniacal, drooly, gross Venom that's become the Venom of today. So $7, couldn't beat it. Again, it was probably less than that with the deal he gave me, but it is super high grade. I would grade it between a 9.4 and a 9.6. So I'm really happy to get that one. He also had this one he kind of threw in, Carnage. This was a neat little series, great covers with Carnage. It ran through Peter Parker, I believe Spectacular, and also Amazing. So happy to get those. And then last but not least, the dealer I got the Marvel team-ups from also had this book I'm about to show you, and it's had some controversy going on recently, but he gave me a really good deal. He originally had $20 on it. He knocked it down to 10. So I was happy to get this. $10, I didn't have it. Obviously, J. Scott Campbell, the Mary Jane cover that's been in the comic book controversy lately. So happy to get this one. Really not bad for $10 at all. So that's it. That's my haul from the comic book show. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to try to make some more videos and put on here, and hope to see you soon.
Oh, okay. That sounds like this looks like fun, but I'm done.